Prince Mashele sparks debate. After calling Jacinta a nobody on national TV political analyst, Prince Mashele has ignited a wave of reactions after referring to Jacinta as a nobody during a national television interview. Before we continue, please kindly subscribe, like and comment your opinion below. The comment quickly spread across social media, with many viewers criticizing the remark as disrespectful, while others argued that Mashele was simply expressing his opinion during a heated political discussion.
You know, a lot of people have spoken about problems. We understand what they are. But there is somebody that talks about solutions as well. And many of us are here today to hear a very exciting idea about rescuing South Africa. He needs absolutely no introduction. Prince Mashele.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm greeting. Good morning. No, I'm joking. I was not greeting. I was testing if I'm talking to bots or real human beings. Let me start by making a confession. Where's Mike? He's run away. That I hate politics. I've studied this stuff, but I hate it. Mark Twain said that politics is the only profession where you can lie, steal, and cheat and still be respected. So please don't respect me. But unfortunately, if you run away from politics, politics will follow you into your house in the form of load shedding. So you can't avoid it. That's why I'm here this morning. I'm going to tell you three things, and I sit down. Firstly, I'm going to tell you what you know, that your country is broken, and I'm going to tell you who broke it. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'm going to tell you that it is possible to rescue it, and I'm going to tell you how. Third, I'm going to share with you a plan, an organizational plan that wants to do it, to rescue the country. And that's the end of my talk. The simplest is what you know, that your country is broken. Mike spoke about it. You see it everywhere. So I don't need to spend a lot of time on that one. We know it's broken. But before you can fix something, you need to understand who broke it and how. Because if you don't, then you're not going to fix it. South Africa was broken by an alliance of three characters, and I'm summarizing. Four characters. The first character is a character called a corrupt ANC politician. This character is everywhere. In the local municipality, in the city, at the national level. That's the first character. The second character is a character called tenderpreneur. This chap wears a suit and a tie. He pretends to be a businessman or businesswoman. Actually, he's not a businessman. This fellow attends meetings at night. In the morning, his bank account swells with money that comes from the ANC, the corrupt ANC politicians. So that's the second character. The third character is a hardcore criminal. When the tender doesn't come to this chap, it went to another one. He appoints a killer to go sort out the competitor. That's the tenderpreneur. And then they are busy murdering each other across the country. So that's the third character. The last character, and it's an alliance, remember? The last character is a character called an incompetent. So if you go to this municipality, you go to the government department, all of these institutions are full of incompetence. They are the scum of the professional world. These characters, if you were to say, all right, fine, you step out of your office, you no longer work here, you are going to work in the private sector. These characters can't even write a letter. But they're there, occupying very senior positions, earning serious salaries. That's a character called an incompetent. That is the alliance that has broken your country. So I'm done with the first point. Now, let's talk about how to fix it. And I'm going to focus on the substance. What is it that needs to be done to fix South Africa? And South Africa can be fixed. Me and a group of South Africans, we have met and said to ourselves, are we going to watch our country go down the tube, or are we going to do something?
Supporters of Jacinta have defended her, saying the comments were unnecessary and have shifted attention away from the issues being debated.
No, I'm joking.
The
I was not
exchange has
greeting.
once
I was
again
testing if
raised
I'm talking
questions
to
about
bots
respect,
or real human
political
beings.
discourse, and how public figures should address one another. What do you think? Did Prince Mashele go too far, or was he entitled to express his views? Share your opinion in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more South African news updates.
I broken your country. So I'm done with the first point. Now, let's talk about how to fix it. And I'm going to focus on the substance. What is it that needs to be done to fix South Africa? And South Africa can be fixed. Me and a group of South Africans, we have met and said to ourselves, are we going to watch our country go down the tube, or are we going to do something? And we said, we will not watch our country go down the drain. We will try and do something. And I'm going to tell you about the organizational plan. We developed something we call a 10-point plan. Some of you may have heard of this, but let me just go through it quickly before I reveal the organizational part of it. And these points, part of the 10-point plan, each one of them responds to a problem. The first thing that needs to be done is to put together a leadership team that is educated, competent, and ethical. Fourth, diverse. And let me start with the diverse part. The way the ANC has done politics is to tell black people that whites are a problem. And this has led white people to think that blacks are a problem. So it's divide and rule. So when things go down, the whites say, no, it's black people. And the ANC says to blacks, no, your conditions are worsening and are difficult because of white people. So all of us are angry. In the process, the ANC thieves are looting and they're destroying our country. Now, if you want to stop that, you isolate those who are sending messages of division. And you say, let the best of whites and the best of blacks come together and do politics together. If you look at our political parties now, they are generally organized along racial lines. There are those who disguise it, who say, no, we are a truly representative party. We actually don't talk race, such as the DA, for example. We don't talk race. No, we must talk race. South Africa is a country of white people, black people, Indian people, colored people. How can you not talk race? If you can't talk race, it means you are scared of talking about yourselves. So let us talk race and say, in the past, there was white politics at the exclusion of blacks. It didn't work for all. The ANC tried to do black politics at the exclusion of whites. It actually didn't work for all. Let's do something different, which is let the best of whites, the best of blacks, the best of Indians, and the best of colors come together and do joint politics. So that's the first thing in terms of diversity. Be clear about it. If you are going to have a president who's black, because the majority of South Africans are black, have a deputy president who is white without apologizing about it, because you must inspire both. But educated, competent, and ethical. So that's the first point. The second point, jail political criminals and restore law and order in society. The Chinese say, kill chickens to scare monkeys. Do it differently in South Africa. Kill monkeys to scare chickens. So in other words, you target the people at the top. So let me give you an example, my son. Here's a practical example. In 2029, you take over government. You say you appoint Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Within 3 months of that new government, you appoint Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, make him national commissioner. By the way, he has the files, so it's very easy. It's not going to take time figuring out who did what. He has all the files. You say, chap, from today on, you are the national commissioner. We are giving you a specific instruction. Everyone who was a minister or president under the ANC from Zuma all the way to Cyril Ramaphosa is under investigation. Top priority. He who didn't do any crime doesn't go to jail, it's obvious. The one who has done crime, that person goes to jail. They must be seen arrested. And when you arrest them, there must be TV cameras. Mike, please prepare your cameras. They must be chained. And from Cyril Ramaphosa for Palapal, here's the thing. If you were found with those dollars in your couch, by now you'll be in jail. We know it is criminal. So Cyril is very easy because he has admitted that dollars were stolen. So he doesn't even say, no, there was no money. No, he has admitted. So you go for them. You arrest them. Those are the monkeys. The chicken down there will stop whatever nonsense they are doing. Because they will say, if you can go for those ones, who am I? Let me just stop before they get to me. That's how Lee Kuan Yew did it in Singapore. He arrested the ministers. So you go for them. So that's the second. But the other component about it is never neglect law and order in communities. Our communities are broken. There's no law and order. And you clean up the police, there's a whole plan in terms of how you do it. The third, flush out deployed cadres from government and professionalize the public service. So this idea that in order for you to get a job in government, you must join a political party, that's absolute nonsense. People must be qualified, proper interviews, the best candidate gets the job. It's not complicated. I won't even spend a lot of time. It's just straightforward. It can be done. Fourth, reposition public schools and higher education institutions for the delivery of quality education with an emphasis on maths, science, and technology. I've studied development models. The part of the world that is growing the fastest as we speak, and it has been doing that for a very long time, it's actually East Asia. Just go look there. Western Europe is depressed. America is in big trouble, it's confused and falling apart, shooting itself in the foot, the end of the Western Empire. The countries that have stability and are promising, and they are very serious about addressing socio-economic problems for themselves, are actually in East Asia. You may not like it. China is actually leading the pack now. The first was actually Japan, way long time ago, by the way, the turnaround of the Meiji dynasty in 1868. Since then, Japan led the pack. At some point was the second largest economy in the world. Today, it is China that is the second largest economy in the world. China, in many ways, actually has now defeated the US, but we can get into that. But here is the thing about it. All of those countries, South Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, they focus on maths and science. Educated citizens who have mastered maths and science are like bricks and mortar when you build a house. Simple. And by the way, Mike, there is no country in the world, show me one, that has moved from the state of poverty into a state of development through a private school. Show me one. In the whole world, show me one. There is none. It's public schools, public schools, public schools. Even here, the poor white problem, the Afrikaners, right? We're poor, you know that. The Carnegie Commission. They turned themselves around. This public school was at the center of that process. So private schools are not going to be the solution for our country. Fifth, make public clinics and hospitals work again. Simple. No NHI nonsense. Just make a clinic work in the township. Let it be clean. Let it be run by a professional, not a deployee cadre. Chris Hani Baragwanath here in Soweto is the biggest hospital in Africa. It used to work. And by the way, it was built by the apartheid state. It was not built by the ANC. So the apartheid state built it, the ANC destroyed it. You just need to go back there and make sure that damn hospital works. You don't need an NHI. When someone is sick in Soweto, must never be flown into Sandton. Why? They will die. It's far. You're still arranging transport to get this person to here in Sandton. No. Let that hospital work. Let there be a specialist there. It must not take more than 10 minutes for this person to reach that hospital and be treated. It's just logical. So that's the fifth. Sixth, cut out the red tape to make it easy to do business in South Africa. Straightforward. Show me a communist country in the world that has developed. I know you'll say China. You are wrong. China is actually not a communist country. Anybody who has been to China and have been there, anybody who has studied China will know that when China was a communist party proper under Mao Zedong, it was a backwater. He died in 1976. Deng takes over, turns around. He says it does not matter the color of the cat as long as it catches mice. And introduces, they call it a social market economy, but it's actually a capitalist economy, which is managed by the state. So you have a competent state and you've got a thriving private sector. That's why Elon Musk does business in China. If it was a communist China, Elon Musk wouldn't be there. When I was there, I went to buy a burger at McDonald's. Not under Mao Zedong. So, cut out the red tape. Just make it easy to do business in South Africa. Let me tell you, South Africa, if you were to do this stuff that I'm talking about, this country can turn it around. 10 years is a long time. One, it's a beautiful country. Those of you who have traveled, you know, this is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Two, we've got some of the best climate in the world. People would want to come and invest here. In any case, even with our mess, the foreigners are already buying houses in the Western Cape. By the way, they're driving house prices up. The Germans, they're buying in the Western Cape right here in South Africa. Why? With our mess. So if you were to fix the political nonsense, you could get the private sector to come and invest in this country and would create jobs. Seventh, replace BEE with a redress program that will focus on two areas. And this is controversial, but it's practical. One, no BEE. Let's be honest about it. And when you say no BEE, the black middle class, especially the beneficiaries, they're like, Prince, now you're speaking for white people. No, wait. BEE has benefited politically connected individuals, and they are very few. That's the crux of it. They haven't benefited the masses of black people. If you go to the townships, the villages, and you say BEE, they say, what is BEE? Where is it? They've never seen it. It has been seen by fellows, a few fellows here who are drinking expensive whiskey here in Sandton. And we know them, we can list them. The first beneficiary, by the way, is Cyril Ramaphosa himself and his brother-in-law Mutsepe. And you can go down the list. They're the richest black people in South Africa too. And you can go down the list. The majority of black people have not benefited from BEE. So this is what you do. You say that BEE nonsense out of the window. What do? There's a fund. The private sector will contribute to the fund, and it will be run jointly by those who represent government and those who represent business. Component number one, its role is to install infrastructure in poor schools, township, rural areas for the delivery of the best maths and science education. It's not complicated. Actually, it's not even very expensive. Now, if there's a poor school in Pretoria West, where the poor white live, you also install that infrastructure there. It's not only for blacks. But here is the thing. The overwhelming majority of the poor in South Africa are black. So proportionally, you will empower more blacks. But you're not going to exclude whites who are poor. If whites are poor, they also benefit. So that's the first component. The second component works like this. Every company ring-fences a low-paid employee. So this portion that used to go to the fat cat of the ANC in the name of BEE, that money now belongs to the low-paid employee of that company. But that money is not going to be squandered. You're not going to say to the low-paid employee, now, suddenly we've got a lump sum. They will go mad. You know the program called I Blew It. They'll go mad. You say, you are the lowest paid employee in this company. According to this redress scheme, this is what is going to happen. You live in a shack because you're a cleaner. You qualify for a 2-bedroom house. Here is worth so much. So go find this house somewhere. The company, that fund will pay for it. So you have sorted out housing. So a cleaner lives in a decent house. You don't have transport. You qualify for this kind of transport. That fund will pay for it. Your child, if they pass maths and science, this and that, they will go to vets. So the child of the poor out of that redress fund can go straight to the best educational institutions if they qualify. So you actually set criteria in terms of what is it that a low-paid employee can claim for, and that fund will pay for. So if you do that, you are actually you are addressing the poor. If it so happens that there's a low-paid white employee in that company, that white employee also benefits. But as you know, the majority of low-paid employees in South Africa are black. So that's BEE. 8, rebuild public infrastructure. I won't spend time. It's very easy. Roads, potholes. I mean, really, we have engineers in South Africa to rebuild. The reason why public infrastructure is not rebuilt, it's not because we don't have engineers, we don't have expertise. It's because the money is being stolen. So once you stop stealing, then it will be easy to sort out the rest because you're no longer stealing. So the money is there, it's being stolen currently. You must stop the stealing and then you refocus the funds. 9, restore the integrity of the South African citizenship and secure our country's borders. Here is the thing. Mike is right. The mob has taken over. Why? Because the state has collapsed. It should not be Jacinta's role to sort out illegal immigration. Who the hell is Jacinta? We didn't elect this lady. Suddenly she's the one now sorting out illegal. No, the state must do it. And it's not complicated. I had a meeting with farmers in Limpopo who are farming along the Limpopo River. And they actually took me on a small plane to show me that border, how it works. 70% of that border, it's actually it's actually owned by private farmers. It's only 30% that is owned by the state. They showed me, you see this piece. It's this farmer, this one is that farmer. They said, we can sort out, we can actually help the state to close that border. Actually, it's the hottest border in South Africa. That's where most of our illegal stuff is actually coming through that. They said, we can sort it out. If the state were to work with us, they have a plan, but the state is not working with them. Why? And they know it. They said, we know that some of the government officials, senior people up there, are smuggling stuff through here. That's why they actually don't want the border to work. So if you have arrested them, you've got a proper government, you work with those farmers, you actually don't even need money because the farmers are going to do the work for you. It is in their interest because then their farming operations are also secure. Not complicated. South African citizenship. Let me tell you, the South African ID, to acquire it, it's very easy. You just buy a Home Affairs official. There are many people who have actually gotten our ID copies. Here in South Africa, Somalis, Pakistanis. So what you do, you set up an investigative project. And you say, you are investigating anyone who acquired our ID over the past 20 years. You just put a time frame. Over the past 20 years, review. If it's a child who was born 20 years ago, that's easy. You don't even need to do work. This person was born at this hospital, put it aside. But it is a fellow who's 38. This fellow got our ID 20 years ago. That's when you zoom in. You are going to find that chap paid money. You are going to find a Home Affairs official. You arrest, you deport the idiot. That's it. Once you do that, you are going to scare the chickens. And the last bit is promote moral regeneration in society. And this might sound like fluff. Here's the thing, and I'm going to talk now as a black person. So if you're white, close your ears. Black communities are broken. Go to the informal settlements, go to the townships. Alcoholism, drugs, nyahupe. Even the idea of a family, by the way. A family with a father and a mother and kids. Single parent households in our communities are broken. We've got to have a conversation among us blacks and say, guys, we have to sort out this stuff. The criminal element, the state will sort it out. Some of the things that you do, by the way, is this. You declare the sale of drugs, illegal drugs, treason. If you are found to be selling drugs, because if you sell drugs, you are actually murdering, and you're not murdering one person, you are murdering an entire community. That's treason. And you actually say minimum, the highest minimum sentence. You arrest, you have an intelligence-driven operation, by the way. And the sellers, people who sell drugs in our communities are known. The communities know them, that there's a drug lord there who does. They are known. It's not complicated, but the problem is that they work with the politicians. And we would have arrested the politicians, by the way, so we can sort them out. The last bit, that's the 10-point plan. Mike, here is the plan. We have registered an NPO called Rescue South Africa. It's registered. There's a bank account. There is a group, black, white, Indian, colored, that is doing the planning. This group is actually meeting this afternoon. Yes. There's monthly meetings. There's been meeting and planning. At some point early next year, there will be a big announcement. So we want the local government elections to come and go. We want the State of the Nation distortion address to come and go. And the noise around the budget. And after that, an announcement will be made. A group of South Africans, professionals, top engineers, accountants, lawyers, you will not believe it, will be announced. These are volunteers. And say, here is a group that is volunteering, and they are volunteering their lives. They don't have money, they're just volunteering themselves. And an invitation will be made for South Africans to do two things, to make two contributions. Contribution number one, if you are skilled, you are a professional, and you have never been in politics, so if you have occupied a position in a political party, you will never occupy a position in this initiative. Full stop. Professionals, fresh start. Please come forward. Raise up your hand. So we will want to see if it is true that you, the professionals, the educated, it is true that you are heartful. Number one. Number two, if you are prepared to sacrifice for your country. So people will raise up their hands. Those people will then organize themselves into a leadership of a political party. Because in South Africa, you can't contest for elections if you don't become a political party. So that's contribution number one. Contribution number two, that group will need money, because in order to operate and take on the ANC, by the way, the objective is to remove the ANC and replace it as a government in 2029. You will need a lot of resources. You must print T-shirts, you must transport people, you must, all of that stuff. So, that will be the call. The question is, will you respond? If you don't respond, and this is what the group will say to South Africans, if we make that announcement in March, we will say, we need so many numbers of volunteers across the country in all provinces. And we'll need so much money if this thing is going to work. If South Africans say, we are not volunteering skills, we are not giving you money, end of July, we will stand on that platform and tell South Africans, thank you very much. We volunteered, you said you're not interested. We are now going back to our private homes. Those of you who want to fix the country, go ahead. We are out of it. And that will be the end of it. So there is a difference between previous initiatives and this one, and this is the last point. One, those who have been forming political parties, if you watch how they do it, they are in for a salary. They want to go to parliament. This group, by the way, they are doing well. I know them. They are doing very well. They will sacrifice. If they were to end up in parliament, they would have to downgrade. And we have had discussions about it. You're a top lawyer. You're a top accountant. Are you prepared to go and earn peanuts in parliament? They said, for my country, I will do it. So it's not about the salary. That's why if South Africans don't support it, they don't join it, they are prepared to stop and go and do what they have been doing. That's the first distinction. The last distinction is this. The finances of that initiative will be public. We will announce an auditing firm that will audit the books. The auditing firm will be given an instruction, minimum every 3 months, publish the finances of this initiative. Let the public see. So much money went into T-shirts, so much money went into transport, this and that. So there will be no secret. If you ask the public to give you money, tell the public fully what you are doing with its money. There is no political party as we speak now, by the way, that does what I'm talking to you about. Nothing. They disclose because the Party Funding Act says you must disclose. They only disclose the part about donations. This initiative will disclose everything. So you will know where the money went to. Mike, I think I should stop there. I've been preaching for far too long. Thank you.